So today on this lesson, I'm trying to explain you one of the most important function in Excel and one of the most used ones to facilitate, to ease your job or your work. Today I will explain it from the beginning, from what does this formula do, where can you find it, and some examples, some simple example of using it. First of all, there are two ways to find VLOOKUP. One is by going here on the tabs of Excel. So here on the group formulas tab, go there and you have some functions grouped by their purpose. The VLOOKUP that we are looking for is on this group lookup and reference. Click on the down arrow and here in the end you have the VLOOKUP function. So you can go there, you can click on it, and you'll see a window that pops up, and there you can find everything that this function needs to provide you a solution. So this is the first option. As you may see here on the window, you see that this formula or function needs a lookup value, a table array, and column index number. I will explain it all the arguments when we do examples. And also it needs a range lookup. Another way how we can find and use VLOOKUP is just by typing by ourselves on the cell that we want to perform the calculation, start by equal sign, search for VLOOKUP, and when it appears here, double click on it, and after the bracket you see that it needs from you some arguments or elements that needs to be filled so you can have a solution for what you are calculating. First of all, it is the lookup value, then it is the table array, column index number, and range lookup that it is optional. So it's the same thing. You can choose to use the window, the pop-up window, or you can type it by yourself, depends on you. So this is how we can find it and what it includes. To explain it better, I have done a simple presentation. What is a VLOOKUP formula? The VLOOKUP function in Excel, it is a tool for looking up a piece of information in a table or data set and extracting some corresponding data or information. For example, what does VLOOKUP function says to Excel? Look for this piece of information, for example, bananas. Look it somewhere on a table or an array, it depends where you have the data. Look it where? In this data set, so that array that needs to be filled there correspond where we are going to find the information or where we are going to look, and tell me some corresponding information about it. For example, I want to look on a table that has information about bananas, but on all that information I want to look in fact its price. Okay, so that's what it does. Also, to explain the arguments or what needs to be filled on this function so we can have a result are the following ones. It's the lookup value, so for what we are looking, the table array where we are looking, the column index number, so that thing that we are looking, for example, the price of bananas on the table that we are looking, in which column it is, it just needs a number, and the range lookup. It is an optional argument and it says us, do you want to find an exact match or something approximate? Okay, now to see it better by an example so you can understand what I'm trying to explain, we will perform it by using a simple table. So as you may see here, I have a small table that has information about some inventory products. Are they in stock or not here, and their price unit. You have it here. Now I'm taking in consideration a small table, but keep in mind that usually this formula it is used to find something or an information to look up about it in a bigger table. That's how it facilitates your work. But we need to explain the formula by using this small table. Now, to illustrate it, find the price of the eraser. Here we have the eraser, ruler, pencil, pen, etc. So here I want to find the price of eraser. If you can see, if we can have a look on this table, it is really easy to find the eraser here and its price, $1. But what we're trying is how to find this information and don't look by ourselves in bigger tables. They don't have so few rows or too few columns, but they are bigger. Okay? Now, when the question is to find something, we are using in Excel the VLOOKUP, one of the most used one. Keep in mind that the letter V of this function stands for vertical. That means that we need to look the information on columns, not on rows. Okay? So there are two ways, as we said before, where we can find the VLOOKUP. I'll start by typing it, VLOOKUP, and when it appears, double click on it and you see the bracket. So after the bracket, you need to put the first argument that we said, the lookup value. For what are we looking on that table? As we said, I'm looking for this eraser here. You can choose to click on a cell that contains it, or you can type it by yourself, but keep in mind that it should be between quotation marks. So you can write it like this, or you can select this cell where I have put it the name of the products. It depends on you. Both of them are used. When you feel or when you are using a function, keep in mind that each argument or each element of it is divided by a comma. So put a comma and you are going to the table array. So where are you looking for this eraser? Where is this information? I have it on this table. In this case, it's a small one. Just select it. If it's a bigger one, select that table or array that you have, or that range that you have. So I select it, I put another comma, and I go to the column index number. The column index number specifies in which column of the table is the price that you are looking. So our question is find the price of eraser. So I'm looking for the price. In which column is this price? As you may see here on our small table, it has 3 columns and the price it is on the third one. So you need to put a number there. In our case, number 3. Another comma, and this is optional. That means if you can put it or not. If you don't put it, it will automatically Excel translate it as approximate match. If you want it an exact one, you need to select false, or you can type it by yourself false. The meaning, as I said before, is an exact match, which is translated on this argument as false, means that I am looking for the price of the eraser, not the price of erase or erasement. So if I find the word eraser, then I want to know its price. If I don't find this word, then I can have anything shown by this formula. Close the brackets, so these are the fourth argument, and enter. And you see by the formula, immediately it shows us $1, so we can prove it that it is $1. If I change here on this drop-down list on this cell, the product to paper, here it doesn't change. Why doesn't change? Because I have put it on the formula by myself, the word eraser. If I would choose the cell, so I'd select the cell here as the first argument, the price or the result on this VLOOKUP would change automatically. But this is the easement or the facility of using a cell, not typing it. So what do we do? So every time that I select another product, the price would change automatically. On my formula, here I remove this quotation mark and select the cell. So the lookup value here will be the cell. And enter, and you see automatically for the agenda book is the price $15. When I change it now to paper, you see how automatically the price by the VLOOKUP function would go to 42. So this is what VLOOKUP does. Okay, the elements you saw it. Now we can test with some examples and see better what it does. Okay, now here I have another small example. I have on a table the ranks of some animals, their names here, and their speed. I have the rank of these animals, but I don't know their name and I don't know their speed. I know that it is really easy to find it by ourselves here. So see the rank 3, and I see that the name is lion and the speed is 50. But don't forget that we are trying to do this simple examples, so you will have it easier to work on bigger tables. Okay, so again, using the VLOOKUP function, because VLOOKUP can help us find this information. Why we are using the VLOOKUP with the letter V? Because our information is in columns, is vertical. If it would be horizontal, we use another function that its name HLOOKUP. Is the same as VLOOKUP, but works on tables that are mostly constructed with rows, not with columns. Now we will perform the VLOOKUP function. So I'll start by typing it, but as you know, I can go here on the formulas tab, go here on the group lookup and reference, and go to the VLOOKUP. It's the same thing. I will try to use it with this way, so you can see that it's the same thing. Now, the same thing that we did there, but when we typed it by ourselves, the arguments of this VLOOKUP, we can do it here on this pop-up table or window. So the lookup value, what we are looking at, I'm looking at this rank, number 3. Where is this information? Where I'm finding it? The table array is this one. Okay? The column index number. So what I'm trying to look on this cell, I'm trying to look the animal, the name of the animal. On this table that I have, in which of the column it is the animal, it is number 2. So the first column, the second one, and the third one. Type number 2, and the range lookup, it is I want an exact match. So I type false and enter. The same thing, you can do it here for the other rank. So maybe if you want to check it, for the rank 3, it's the lion name. So you see that VLOOKUP has done it correctly. The same thing, you can do it with the old way. You can find the VLOOKUP and you can put the arguments here. The lookup value, it is this now, the rank 5. So I'm looking for the rank 5 on this table. And I want the name of the animal. So it is in the column 2. And I want an exact match. False and enter. And for rank 5, the animal is coyote. So it is done again correct. If you want to copy the formula here, if I double click here, don't forget to make the table array absolute, so it doesn't change when you copy it down. By pressing, you select the range, press F4 once on your keyboard and you'll see these dollar signs and enter. And when I copy it down here, you see that the calculation with this VLOOKUP is done automatically. For number 10, it is the rabbit. And you see, it is calculated the same way. For the speed, you can do it the same thing. So with VLOOKUP, I'm looking, you can choose to look for the rank or for the name. It's the same thing. I'm continuing again with the rank. I'm looking on this table array, but if you want to copy, you will copy the formula. Since the beginning, make it absolute by pressing F4 on your keyboard, and you see the dollar signs that shows that the cells or the array is made absolute. Another comma, the column index number, as you know, says to Excel the speed that you are looking in which column is on this table. It is in the third one. Another comma and false, because I want an exact match, and enter. So for the lion, the speed it is 50, it's correct. And if I copy the formula down, you see, again for the rabbit here, 35, it is done correctly. Okay? So, really easy the VLOOKUP. With the same logic that we did it for on this small table, you can do it, perform it in a bigger one. Another example is when you take the information from another sheet. So you don't have that table here next where you're making the calculation, but you have it in another sheet. It's the same thing. The only thing that changes it is the second argument, the table array. So what we are trying to do, I have here some products and I want to find their price. But their price are in another sheet. It is, as you may see here on the sheet, product price. And I want to take it. So what I'm going to do, there are two options. The table array may be a table or it may be not. I will show it to you. So we go again with the VLOOKUP function. The lookup value is this product. I'm looking it on another sheet. So I go to that sheet, product price, and I select the table here. And put another comma. And the price where I'm looking at this table, in which column it is in the third one. Number 3 and false for an exact match. And you see the result. If you want to copy it down, just drag it down and you see how it is made. Okay? This is when it is in another sheet. Another example of the VLOOKUP is when you want to find something but you don't know its full name. Okay? What does that mean? I have here a small table with the last name of some persons and the license key. Now I want to find the license key of the person that name begins with Jean. So its full name may be Johnson, Johnnon, it depends. But all I know is this short name of it, John. How do you do it? First of all, maybe you can try to find its last name by using the VLOOKUP and then find the license key. How can I find it the full last name for this person? Again, using VLOOKUP, because VLOOKUPs can show us and can look for us information that we want. Sorry, VLOOKUP. Now, the lookup value is John, but I don't know how it continues. It has other letters after it or not? I suppose it may have, but even if I'm not sure, I need to use another way that helps Excel to find me everything that starts with John. Now you select the name, the name of the cell, John, and put the end sign, and then between quotation mark put the asterisk. And this means that find me the John name and or any other word that begins with John but may continue with other words. Okay? That's the function of asterisk. It may be put before the word if you know that it has other letters, or after it, or in the middle. The table array where I'm looking for the last name In fact, you can select the whole of it and just say that I'm looking in the first column, but in this case you can also just select this column, only the first one. Okay, I will remain with the first option just to show you that it can also be done by using only one column. Put a comma. Now I have only one column, so the number would be automatically 1 and false. The false in Excel, in a short way, can be done by typing false or by typing 0. It's the same thing. But 0, it's something that I want to show to you because it is easier to be done. And enter. As you see the result, that if we look up, I find that the last name, the full last name of this person that begins with John, it is Johnson. Okay? Now that I have the last name, it is easier to find the license key. So again, with VLOOKUP, the lookup value, it is now Johnson, and I'm looking on this table here, and the license key that I'm looking for, it is in the second column, so I type number 2, and as I want an exact match, I can type it false or 0. It's the same thing. And you see that the license key automatically for Johnson, it is 6VC1Y. Okay, it's correct. Another example is when I have the license key, but I want their last names. But I don't have the full license key. I have only some letters that it contains. So what I'm going to do, I don't know if these keys contain that I have put it here, A, B, C, D, are in the middle, in the end, or in the beginning. So I'll again use the asterisk, but now will put it before this word and after it. Again, I first find the license key that has these letters, and then I find the last name. It will be done again with the VLOOKUP. The lookup value, it is this one, but as it may have other letters before it, I'll start with quotation mark and asterisk inside it, put the and symbol because it says it may have other letters or other symbols, and it may be in the middle or not. Put another and sign and put between quotation mark again the asterisk because it may have letters or symbols after it. Now I have put the lookup value. The table array is what we have, this one here, a comma, the license key that I'm looking. As you saw on the first one, I selected only the last name, the first column, and I put it 1. Now I have selected is the same thing. I have selected the whole table, but again I put 1 because the license key is the first column. And 0. Close the bracket. And you see that the license key that contains the ABCD is this one. Okay, the other ones doesn't contain these letters. Now, as I have the full license key, I can find the last name. With VLOOKUP, maybe I can use the other way where VLOOKUP, I find it here in the formulas, lookup and reference, VLOOKUP. And I will just use it the window. It is the same thing. The lookup value is the license key. The table array is this one. Now I'm trying to find the last name. So the last name is the column number 2. And it is false. As you may see, 0, it is translated as false. It's the same thing that I explained it before. Okay, so brown. Okay, that's how easy it is done. There are also options. There's another example where I want to show you that VLOOKUP can also find nearest match or approximate match, not exact match. And it's really it's really simple and it really helps us. Where can we use it? For example, I have an information about some persons or employees, it depends what they are, the date of birth, their age, and I want, depending on their age range, I want to find in which segment they are. And this segment I have put it here. So from the age uh, from 18 to 21 it is new, from 21 to 39 it is the young segment, from 39 to 60 it is mature, and bigger than 60 it is senior. But now how can I find it easier? That, for example, the age 45, it is between 39 and 60 and it is mature. So I can do it for every single of it manually. I needed a formula, and VLOOKUP helps us. Helps us because it finds an exact match, but also it finds for you an approximate match. I will show you now. Depending on these ages here, so what I'm looking for, it is the ages. I'll look on this small table for them, and I want them to provide the name of the segment. So this segment here that are black will need to be filled. I'll start with the first cell, and then the formula will be copied down automatically, so we only need to perform it once in the first one. VLOOKUP, find the function VLOOKUP. The lookup value is the age, so don't type it between quotation mark by yourself, number 45, but just select the cell. A comma. The table array, I'm looking on this small table here, and make it absolute by pressing the F4 key on your keyboard, so you can copy the formula down, and this small table will be the same for all the cells below. Another comma. Now I am looking for the segment. So the segment here on this table, it is the second column. Put number 2. Now, the distinction with the examples we tried before is that now I don't want an exact match, because here I don't have 45 number. I want an approximate one. So you can select this true or type it by yourself true. Close the bracket and see how it says to us that 45 it is in the mature segment. As I explained to you, from 39 to 60 it is mature. Copy the formula down and see how these are filled really easy and doesn't waste your time. We can check another one so you can see that it is done correctly. For example, this person Jamie is 66 years and is on the segment senior. As you may see, from 60 and up, the segment is this senior. So it is proved that it's okay. Or the 90. This person, Freddy, it is 90. It is in the segment new. As I explained, from 80 to 21, the segment it is new. So this is another way how VLOOKUP helps us. Also on schools, it helps a lot because when students have scores on different subjects, their grades varies on a segment or a range. For example, you take the grade F if you take score from 0 to 50. From 50 to 60 you take the grade D, and for up then 85 you take the grade A. How it is done? Here I have John's grade on these subjects, their score, but I don't know their grade. And we'll do the same thing as we did before with that example of the ages. With VLOOKUP, I'll look for the score, press the comma, I'll look on the small table here where I have the ranges, but make it absolute to copy the formula down. Now I want to find the grade, so the grade is the second column, and I want an approximate one. So as we have ranges, I want true, or as we did with the false, true can be done by putting number 1, and the exact was by putting number 0. So you see, for the score 77, the grade is B. Okay? Why? Because from 70 to 85, I have B. Okay? Copy the formula down, and you check, for example, the score 49 says the grade it is F. Why? Because from 0 to 50, the grade it is F. So I hope with these examples, the VLOOKUP function, it is understandable.